morning, everybody. Today we are going to go to Hawaii and visit the new game from SGS Operation Hawaii. This is an interesting game because it deals with a what-if situation. That is, what would have happened if the Japanese had invaded by land the island of Oahu and attempted to take control of the Pearl Harbor base right after their raid. So it's purely hypothetical, even if the operation has been really studied, and it was nicknamed Operation Hawaii, the Hawaii operation in the Japanese secret documents. So the game explores this situation, and this is the opportunity for the players to discover a few new mechanisms in the game. As usual, you have the menu with an explanation about the product. You have the information sheet in the middle of the menu, giving you details on how the scenario works and the size to play. For the sake of the demonstration of this, today we'll use both sides like if you were playing hot seat. This is a way to illustrate how the game works. It's not really what I would do if I was playing. So the game starts with something which is new compared to other products, which is an option phase. The option phase is a turn called turn 0, where in fact the only thing you have to do is to select options. So the game explains to you what are the options. And let's say they are divided in two parts. The first part is directly related to setup, that is where your units will start the campaign. And the second part will be extra options, which can make for a very interesting variation. And because this is what if, we can explore different possibilities. So let's see what we have here in store for the Japanese, and they have three options to start with. This is the landing site. You will see on the map here that there are potential sites on the east, north or south shore of the island. And then once you have selected your landing site, then you have extra options, and we are going to explore this immediately. So the game starts with a draw of the cards with the landing options, which you have to choose, and then you have the other option. A summary of the campaign, what's your goal, is presented now so that you have exactly the description of what you have to do in order to achieve success in this campaign. Note that both sides start with a healthy 20 victory point score from the start, but you will understand why. Because the options that you have here, and you can look at the option, they cost victory points from your start. So you can select one option or the other, or see what they do. So obviously the landing site is quite self-explanatory. So I'll take the north landing just to see. So it will take a place on the north shore, and I have the information that some of my troops might be delayed because of the reef and the lower number of landing beaches. But let's take this one. Options are exclusive one to the others. That is, if you choose to land in the north, you cannot also choose to land in the east or in the south. And so you are aware, you make your choice. And then you get the extra option. So you see, I was starting with 20 victory points, I lose 5. And then I have other options which I can choose, and you can see here there is a cost in victory point. Oh, interesting. I have one which gives me victory point actually, which is like, well, let's just do what we decided to do and nothing else. But if I do that, then all the other options would be dropped, so I can get points and lose points at the same time. I'm going to take a very, let's say, limited thing, so if you will discover the other option by playing yourself. So I'll take this one, which I like, the surprise fort raid. This is kind of a commando group which is trying to attempt here getting control of Fort Ruger. It's not critical for the campaign, especially if I land in the north. It's more interesting if I land in the east or south, but The good thing about that is that it will make some distraction to the US, and then probably also cut the road for the eastern units to go back to Honolulu and Pearl Harbor. So let's try this. And as you see, the cost was 4 victory points was deducted from my stock. And I feel I have enough with this, so I'll just pass. And the option turn. And that's the turn of the US. The US player has a summary of cards, and you can see the options of the other player. No, not really. In fact, this is a nice trick. You know they throw the landing site, and knows they have played possibly 2 options, but you don't know which one, you don't know the cost. So, well, it's a bit of a surprise. So, for the Americans, well, you're aware that Pearl Harbor has just been attacked, and there are rumors that Japanese troops are approaching the island. So, as the American, you can see your initial setup, because the, let's say, the historical setup of units, 24 and 25th divisions on Oahu are shown. And you also have options, which basically is set up your troops like they were historically or a bit differently. 2 choices mostly. One is to concentrate your troop more in a more group fashion, or another option is to create like a reaction group with more troops, and it's the costlier option. And then of course you have extra options. So let's see what they have in stock for me. And they have this concentrated defense, costs 8 recruitment points. Wow, reactive defense, 12 points. It's a lot of points, but it gives you more units, especially tanks, which can be very useful. And the historical option is a spread defense, which is like just history. So I'll play a gambit on the American. Like, let's see what would have happened in these circumstances without changing anything compared to the historical situation. So I'll choose spread defense, which is the historical selection. So I know I've done that. And then what are my options? Wow, do nothing, just like history, and I get more victory points. Or have minefields, interesting, that spread miles over the beaches. Or increase, as the Navy, to increase sub patrols around the island, and probably the possibility to detect the Japanese fleet easier. And more planes. As you see, the cost of all these options is quite hefty, but I'll try to play again like history, so I don't worry. And then I end up with 23 victory points. That is a good head up against the Japanese. So when this is over, the option turn is finished. As you notice, there's absolutely nothing to do in the option turn, like except playing cards. And the real turn will last and start the good way normally, and we are going to see that right now.